What's good with y'all, man? This is going to be an interesting topic, man. So we need to talk about this, all right? Now, right here, you see an image. This is an image that was sent to me by the 42-year-old cougar, right? That I mentioned I had when I was 24. Now, when I say, bro, I got archives. All right? This particular topic is advanced game because I want you guys to understand something that happens when you start attracting women because you are becoming him. You are becoming more attractive yourself. You are locking in as a man. The glow up is real. When the glow up starts to happen, okay, what you're going to encounter and why the battle shifts. When we talk about chasing women, that's going to be a foreign concept to you. I'm telling you, because it's like you're just going to be attracting them. All right, now what's talked about a lot is the energy that you put out is what you're going to be attracting. So this is what people will try to spin on you when they saying, oh, well, the reason you're attracting hoes is because this. The reason why you're attracting unqualified women is because of this. What you need to understand is, first off, like I said also before, women are great actresses. Okay, you don't know what you're getting. You're just going to be, when you're showing yourself, at the times of your leisure, when you're stepping outside, you know, you going here, you going to brunch, you going to a day party, you going to a pool party, you going to the beach, club. It doesn't matter where you're outside, you know, just having fun, enjoying your life, trying something new. It could be anything, guys, activities. And you're attracting women. You're just getting this version of them. You haven't seen them for who they are yet, so they could turn out to be a hoe. They could turn out to be a Jezebel. They could turn out to be a gold digger. They could turn out to be someone that's trying to use you. You don't know yet. What you do know is you're supposed to lead with your attraction, not your wallet. And usually, it's what you get. Okay? You get their sex appeal. You get their, you know, what they're leading with too, but you're focusing on the physical attraction. So you will get the buns. Past that, here's what I'm getting at, y'all. Some women are literally like short-term, period. Jezebels are short-term. This 42-year-old cougar was technically Jezebel. If I had to categorize her, I'd say she was a Jezebel. That's why I hit abort mission when she started to like talk about, oh, I have one egg left and you know, you don't got to do nothing. Just live with me. And that's a setup because number one, you don't move in with women. Now, I just said in my previous video, I think this is a good experience for a man to have, like you dating an older woman just to get the feel of a woman taking, you know, not even taking care of you, just like wanting to splurge on you or do something for you. That's a different experience for a man. I think a man should get that kind of experience. Now, it's a short-term experience, in my opinion. I don't think that's smart. Now, hold up. Let me take that back. Because real quick, we're going to put in a scenario where, let's say she's an older woman. She has the money. You marry her. If y'all divorce, you taking half of her shit. The odds of that happening, guys, very slim. But if it does happen, hey, bravo to you, brother. That's called playing chess. Typically, guys, it's not going to happen like that. It's cool, though. It's cool. But, you know, that's a fantasy in my opinion. Bro, you just not gonna listen. Most of these women, they're gonna be short term because they are Jezebels. And with Jezebels, I don't suggest you turning that into long term. Typically, when you get into long term with women that are not qualified to be long term, these are short term women. They're just, you know, if all they're presenting is the sexual aspect, then you have to keep it short term, fellas, because chances are, you know, if they have, you know, if you don't know the whole facts yet, they haven't pulled up the, it takes time to figure those whole facts out as they continue to uncover and stuff, and you start to see that, yeah, you know, you've had this situation before with other men. That's fine. You just got to keep it at short term. You don't want to turn those into long term. You don't want to try to turn those into a long term situation. You know what I'm saying? Because you start to get diluted in trying to convince her and see her as wifey. You start to try to put standards on it. And the reason why a lot of guys get pushback is, or from the woman, right? They get pushback from the woman because they're not used to that. So number one, these women, because they're Jezebels and or because they for the streets and stuff, they don't want to change, bro. You can't force them to change. And number two, the guys that get lost in the sauce because they're trying to convert these, short-term flings, these Jezebels and stuff, and these women for the streets. It was supposed to just be enjoyable time for you, bro. It was just supposed to be something for you to have fun with. Use the energy that you get from them and propel that towards your abundance to attract a longer term qualified woman, more quality woman. That's what you should be doing, man. That's the only use I feel from these kind of women. These women are strictly short term. Do not invest in them. Do not try to change them. Do not see. That's why it's going to take experience for a lot of guys to get that under their grasp. As far as just women to sift through. I want you guys to understand that anybody watching this, and if you can relate, you can relate. If not, it hasn't happened for you yet, well, be open to this kind of just understanding that the women that you attract, you don't know who they are yet, and you have to be cool. You have to be comfortable with taking your time and being patient and just enjoying the ride sometimes. Enjoy the ride, but never let it go past a certain point. Always have a stopping point. With women you designate for short term, there needs to be a stopping point. With women you designate for long term, let's say she's proven herself to you, she's trying to go through the process with you, and she's like locked in with you. She ain't trying to deceive you or nothing like that. You got to take your time still, and you have to have your boundaries, and this is when you just got to stay on point. You know what I'm saying? When you got a chick that's proving herself to you and she's trying to be wifey for you and she's trying to work her way through the exclusivity to girlfriend to wifey and all this stuff, take your time, have your boundaries set. Don't get lost in the sauce of comfortability and lovey-dovey romantic shit, because that's them. Always focus on your respect. Always focus on your respect. The more you experience life, the more you experience women and stuff, you start to be able to better categorize them. And I'm telling you guys, it's to the point where I'm seeing women and I'll be talking to them and I'm like, literally your same personality I've seen in another chick I've been with. So I already know how this is going to go. You know what I'm saying? So it just gets easier. It gets easier. And that doesn't mean that, I'm over here throwing dick at every chick. It just mean that, I'm most of the time I'm still turning them down, but it's just the ones that you do get with, you start to see a lot of things. And when you're vetting them, you start to see a lot of things. So you choose, you be vetting a chick and you're like, yeah, you seem just like this one girl, or you seem just like, I don't want to deal with that situation again. That's up to you. That's your discretion. You know what I'm saying? That's up to your discernment as a man. Yeah, I'm not going to deal with that. It's that simple. It's really that simple, bro. And that's cool, bro. That's cool. The more you level up, the more it's just going to become about what's best for you, what this woman is doing for you, what you want, where you want to categorize her, and make sure she stays there. Don't let a short-term thing go too long-term. I'm going to reiterate that, because it's a fine line you got to walk as a valuable man. It's a fine line you got to walk as a man that's determined to become better. You know what I'm saying? The shit just don't stop one day and you're like, okay, I've reached my goals and that's it. Not as a man. You're going to set newer, higher goals, and typically the women or the people in general you're going to want to be involved with at a new echelon, they're going to have to be presenting what you are wanting at that point. So if you encounter a Jezebel, just enjoy it. Don't let it extend. I gotta nail that down, because wanting sex and just keeping it there, okay, but what if it's a chick that literally wants that same thing with you and you get lost in the sauce because you're trying to like wife it now, but this is just who she is. That's just who she is, bro. You don't try to wife that. You know what I'm saying? You don't try to force that. You don't try to make her into the good girl. You don't turn a hoe into a housewife. You and let me say this too. Obviously, y'all, do your due diligence and preparation and protecting yourself, whether that's, strapping up and pulling out and all this kind of good stuff, or, just, like I said, staying on your P's and Q's, because, you can't let these chicks just keep you in the bed all day, and they fucking on you and shit, and they over here like, oh yeah, let's just, like, I'm telling you, bro, they be like, oh yeah, let's just stay in bed and fuck all day. Let's just fuck all these. Like, we ain't got the time for that, bro. Okay, you enjoy your time with them, and then you got to peel out, wake up out of the guts, get back on the grind. Do not take it for granted. I had to end this with her because, you know, she was just like, oh yeah, and I just like sex a lot, and that sounds great, right? It sounds great. I did enjoy that. I did enjoy that for a period of time, but it was a short time because I'm not trying to. I have goals and I have a vision that kept me even at 24 years old when I was dealing with this particular one. And I've dealt with other Jezebels, no cap. Another one, and shit, she had kids too, bro. She had kids, and I knew she'd be a problem because I feel like the ones that have kids, sometimes if they're young enough, they're willing to have more. You know, this one was a MILF technically, right? She wasn't older. She was my same age, but we were like, what, 27, 28, around that age. She already had like 2 kids. And I'm like, see, this the type of chick. She's sexy as fuck, light-skinned chick, my type, 100%. And she was a Jezebel. Now, she was the perfect example of my type of Jezebel. This older one was a Jezebel, but it's just different. It's just different flows when you got an older woman that's more experienced in life versus a woman that's just out here and she's like using men as meal tickets. Both Jezebels, but they're like different. They have different motives. So you have to be cognizant of their motives, and then you have to adjust your strategy for that. So with that chick, I was like, I know for a fact she will be willing to have another kid because some of these women go out here hunting for, and like I said, being great actresses, they hunt for guys with potential, or if they're successful, or, you know, they're driven and passionate, they'll hunt for those guys and they'll just have a baby by them on purpose and use that as, you know, they little meal ticket. So if they looking at you as a golden ticket, all the more reason. Strap up, pull out, right? Be smart, be smart, be smart, be smart. That's all I'm trying to say, man. Good experiences to have when you are locked in, when you're not letting them coerce you into dumb shit. All right, when you're not being irresponsible with the pussy. You're being responsible with the pussy, and that means contraception and just knowing when to get the fuck out and get back on the grind. And don't slack. You cannot slack. The more attractive you become as a man, the more time you put into leveling up. You in the gym, you in the grind with your motherfucking life, period. In all ways, shapes, and forms. Okay, bet. Well, now you attracting badder bitches, and you don't know which is which. Is this a chick really about me, or is this a chick just, you know, or she could be about you, but she could be about you for the short term, or, you know, the long term. Do I sit here and try to, you know, gauge her? She doesn't seem like she's that faithful. She might just be trying to put on a facade for me and see if I'll freaking fall for it. Okay, well, let me take my time. Let me not rush it. It all sounds good until you in the situation, kings. It all sounds good until you in the situation. When you in the situation and you busting us with the bitch, now you forgot. Now you like, oh no, I don't gotta get up out of these guts. Let me just lay in these guts for a few more hours. A few more hours turns into her making some food for you. That turns into you busting more nuts with her, and before you know it, half the day gone, and you know you miss out on some money. So you don't want to do shit like that. You miss out on the opportunity. There you go, man. Fine balance. We gotta play short term. Keep them short term. Long term, and they're proving themselves. Take your motherfucking time. Overall, you're taking your time because you start to figure out where you should categorize them. Yeah, my 40-year-old cougar. I had to make sure I had to end that because, yeah, it was just I wasn't ready for a situation like that at 24 years old. I was like just building myself, and I knew the trajectory I wanted my life to go, and it would all come to a stop if I took her option, which was to just live with her and be just some dick at her crib. Like that couldn't, no. That would have stopped my whole fucking flow. So, you know, be smart. Like, be smart. Just because there's some booty and shit don't mean it's the good option, the best option. You know what I'm saying? So y'all be easy, man.
We locked in on this shit. We focus. We start at zero every day. But we go from zero to hero every fucking day, bro. We go from zero to hero every fucking day, though. That's how I like to keep it, man. That should keep you ambitious. How much did I achieve today? How much did I make today? How much did I do today? You just keep stacking them days, bro. Stack them days up. Stack them days up, kings. Stack them up, dude. You know what I'm saying? We just keep, man.